How long is it going to last this time? 6 weeks? 7 weeks? Maybe we'll give them 8 or 9 weeks. The Vikings are doing it again. They're teasing everybody in Minnesota. They get off to a hot start. They whip up on the Saints, 29-19. But the big story out of this one, Sammy Sleeves. Sammy accuracy. Oh my goodness. Sam Bradford balled out. 27 of 32, 346 yards, and a trio of touchdowns. So basically what the Vikings kept doing, they kept picking on P.J. Williams. They kept throwing the post corner route with Adam Thielen in the slot, and they just kept matriculating the ball down the field. Also, Stephon Diggs is really starting to turn into a really solid receiver for them as well. So you look at the stat line with the receivers. Thielen, 9 catches, 157 yards. Diggs, 7 for 93 and 2 scores. Diggs, I mean, dude, I thought he was more impressive actually than Thielen. Thielen was kind of running wide open for most of the night. But Diggs had a couple catches where he showed off his strong hands, the touchdown that he had. I thought he was very impressive. And Dalvin Cook, 22 carries, 127 yards. You know, he ran that slow 40 time. He fell in the draft, but I'll tell you what, he looks pretty fast around the edges, and he looks like a threat for the Vikings. You know, I remember he was the guy that I wanted back in the first round for the Eagles, but, you know, as it turned out, the Eagles pick up Derek Barnett, Sidney Jones. I'm not going to complain about that, but Dalvin Cook was certainly a guy that I wanted. Another guy that impressed me on the Vikings, you know, that this is an offensive line that's gone through a lot of changes. They pick up Riley Reef. They spent a lot of money off of him. Jake Elliott. Yeah, I saw that. So they revamped their entire offensive line. But the guy that stood out to me last night was Pat Eflin, their center. I thought he played really, really well for them. There was a play where I believe it was a screenplay, and he was like 20 yards downfield making a block. He was pretty extraordinary for them last night. And obviously, that offensive line, a big struggle for them last year. So if they can kind of figure things out, you know, and keep kind of Bradford upright, who knows? But I still don't trust this team, man. I mean, like, we saw what happened last year. Once Sam Bradford unravels, everything unravels. So we'll see if they can maintain that play. Now, the defense really impressed me for the Vikings as well. I mean, Everson Griffin was everywhere. Eric Kendricks was making play after play after play after play. He was unbelievable. Linval Joseph continuously in the backfield. Daniil Hunter, a really underrated defensive end for them. Griffin was pressuring in the backfield a lot as well. So overall, great performance by the Vikings. You look at the Saints side of things. Well, they weren't able to muster much on the ground. Adrian Peterson comes back to Minnesota, only 6 carries for 18 yards. Alvin Kamara, 7 carries for 18 yards. So it was Kamara who got the bulk of the load. So you look at how they divvied up their carries. Kamara got 7 for 18, Peterson 6 for 18, and Ingram 6 for 17. So running back by committee, I guess, in New Orleans, literally. 3-headed monster. But unable to get anything on the ground, obviously, with that defense that they have. Very good front seven, a very good linebacking core, very good defensive line. I mean, just very good defense throughout. So it's a Minnesota defense. It's very good. You know, I think we forget about that sometimes. Drew Brees, 27 of 37, 291 yards and a touchdown. So those are his statistics. So, yeah, there you go. There's your Vikings and Saints recap. Now, also something I'll be doing as well. Let's see if you see this. So I keep scoring individually on every game that I cover, that I watch. So I grade every play, right? I do a plus and a minus, and just to kind of describe. So this game, let's see, we had Sam Bradford looked very good. We'll see how long it lasts. So this was all right. So I graded this game until there was 4 minutes left. It was 29-9 or 29-12, I believe, when I stopped grading. So I grade every play, a plus or minus. So basically, it works like this: 1st and 10. If you pick up 4 yards, it's a push. But if you pick up 5 or more yards, you get a plus for the defense, or plus for the offense, and 3 yards or less, I give you a minus. So I grade each play. If you pick up 15 yards, I give you 2 pluses. So that's how it works. And I use this scoring system as a way to gauge whether or not a team actually played as well as they did. So, this scoreline here in 84-61 Minnesota in terms of the plays, it is indicative of how beaten the Saints were. The Vikings manhandled the Saints last night, and it even shows up in the scoring. So there you go. That's how I grade games and how I look at games. I guess I'll do this for all the videos I do. I don't know, but I've watched 6 games from the weekend, and I'm just gonna go real quick and do recaps on all of them right now. So that's what I'll do. All right, so that's the Saints and the Vikings. I'm going to go do another game right now. So peace. Saints defense is just not good. Just not very good. Their corners are not very good.